If you eat too much glucose and fructose, which is what sucrose or table sugar is made of, your body's going to store that as fat. That's just the way we're designed physiologically. This is not a belief. This is not a fad. This is just how human physiology works. Eating too much sugar is going to promote fat storage, which is the weight gain that you hate.
Let me give you an example of a study that was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. What they did is they took trim and obese women and they gave them 50% more calories than they usually ate, which amounted to 3.5 ounces of refined sugar every day. 50% more calories and 3.5 ounces of refined sugar they ate every day. And they did this for a period of nearly 4 months. And it took 4 months to gain 1 pound of body fat. And the conclusion of this article, just like every other article published on this subject, is that the conversion of sugar into body fat does not contribute greatly to fat balance. Well, you've got to discount this whole kind of thinking that somehow eating rice or potatoes turns to sugar and makes you fat. And you can start by discounting the fact that your observations of the world prove otherwise. Are rice eaters thin or overweight? Are potato eaters thin or overweight? All right, it's going to be a little bit more complex, but I want to go over all the mechanisms for you. If you'll just bear with me a minute. What happens is when you eat starch, okay, this is the way sugar is presented to you in the form of rice and bread and pasta and corn and potatoes. You start on the left-hand bottom corner. You consume starch. The intestinal tract breaks down the chains of sugars into individual sugars like glucose. The conversion of glucose into body fat, I told you, is very inefficient. It costs 30% of the calories to do this, and that's why the body doesn't do it, because the body is the ultimate inefficiency. So because it's so costly, you don't get this kind of conversion, as I explained to you just a minute ago. However, it hardly costs any calories to move the fat to your body fat. It only costs 3% of the calories. Now, what happens, say you need 2,000 calories a day to run the machinery. What happens if you take in an extra 1,000 calories of sugar? What happens to it? It's too inefficient for the body to convert it into body fat. I showed you in 4 months, it took 4 months to gain a pound with that kind of overfeeding. So what does the body do with these extra calories? Well, what the body does is it burns them off as heat through respiration, through body perspiration, all through non-athletic movements, such as jittering. They're just kind of subclinical or sub-observation movements. The body kind of increases the metabolism, just burns it off as heat. So next time somebody says, don't eat rice, turns to sugar, makes you fat, well, you start by correcting them, tell them this doesn't happen in human beings to any significant amount.